So it's time for the lowering kit. We're going to be slamming the 6/8 drop kit on the dually today. I'm just going to let the camera roll so you guys can watch, and if there's something I think you need to know, I'll stop the video and tell you. If you know anything about pulling rear leafs and diffs out of old rusty trucks, it can be a real pain in the butt. So hopefully everything goes smooth. I'm going to be deleting a few leaf packs and the overloads and some other stuff like that. So anyways, follow along, leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'm just going to get right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the video.
Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. To do a dangerous thing with style is what I call art.
Okay, so as you guys could probably tell there, filmed most of everything in today's video in 2x speed, so there's no audio. So I'm just going to cover the basics here of what you need to know for the switch suspension kit. Well, you can see this, but I scribed a line here. There's an oval right here on both sides of the frame. That is where you want, once this low oval's lined up, you know you're good here. So when you're drawing your line to cut out the frame, line up this piece with the oval. I just took some vice grips and you saw that there. The hole on this bracket right here, the hole is offset, and it goes to the front. So the axle actually needs to be pushed back a little bit, and that's to make the pinion angle right. So you saw that there. We cut off the bottom of these U-bolts here to make them fit so we can get the torque, get the impact on there and really tighten them down. I deleted a bunch of leaf springs. I'm running 6 leaves on both sides with this super heavy one on the bottom, and that'll be more than enough for what we need. Yeah, I hope you guys saw everything else, and I hope that all makes sense. I have to hit this with the impact, right? And then we're gonna put the shocks on Yep, good. Good. Okay, next step. We're gonna put the shocks on and then we're done with the back. Just one thing at a time. So we've got our drop shocks here and we have shock extenders actually. Let me tell you, when your diff is bouncing off the bottom of your box, you'll wish you had them. I'm not actually sure how these all go together. Okay, so we've got washer here. It's always a good day when stuff starts working, you know. Okay, we'll throw that on there. Tighten that bad Ricky down. Like, I'm only giving it away if I hit 50,000. That's the deal. Otherwise, I'm selling it because I'll be able to sell it for 20 grand. Because if 50,000 subscribers will generate enough income to make it worth it, it's gonna cost me 15 grand to build it. So then I can at least recoup some of my money. Okay, here we go. This will be the best truck that I've built. Everything's on video, so it has to be good, you know. 3/4 inch socket. Where are you? Right here. Done. So the back is done. That's kind of the hard and easy part. More manual labor than the front, but she's done. We got her done in, you know, took me about 6 hours, I figured. All right, so we're back. We got the other side done because honestly I wanted to do it myself before I showed you guys how to do it. So we're gonna do this side. This is the driver's side. Got the caliper off. If you can't figure out how to do that on your own, then I don't know if this is the job for you. What we're gonna do is pop this hub off here, and on the 1 tons they actually have a hole right here to get this cap off inside the hub here, because otherwise it's really hard to get off. So you just take a flat blade screwdriver. There's a hole on this side and a hole on this side right here, and we're just going to pop that cap off and then pull the hub off. So then in here you've got a nut with a cotter pin. We'll bend the cotter pin out. Okay, so there's our cotter pin, and usually these are finger tight, and I'm going to show you guys how to set the preload on your wheel bearings. I'm going to be reusing these wheel bearings. I am going to replace the seal on the back of the hub and clean the wheel bearings and repack them, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Okay, so there's our nut. There's a washer in here. This whole thing just slides off like this, and we'll just put this back over here somewhere. One, two, three. Let's get this, get that out of the way. And so now you can see here, we've got our spindle here. We've got a rock behind there. First thing I'm gonna do is take off my tie rod here. First thing you wanna do is take the cotter pin out with your tie rod. Now, I'll show you a trick here. Rather than just trying to pry this thing out with needle nose, the easier way is you take something like this with a point on it and you slide it in here like this, and you just take a hammer and tap it in, and it busts that cotter pin loose without breaking anything. If you break this cotter pin off inside the joint, that's really bad, and then you have to drill it out, and sometimes it doesn't work. I use an impact on these because you don't want the joint to start spinning in there, or else it's a pain to get off. So I'll put the impact on here and zip this nut off. It's off like that. So now that we've got the nut off, we need to separate the tie rod from the spindle here. Now the best way to do this, if you don't want to wreck your boot, is knock off the grease like that, and just take a big hammer and smack the spindle part of it. Don't smack this. Smack right here. Just beat on it really hard, and it'll shock the tie rod end, and it'll separate. I'll show you. So you can see it popped up. Now I'll take that off. Now there's an important part here. You got your sway bar here, and you want to keep that. So you have to take it off, loosen it so you can get your spring out, because this will hold your lower control arm up so your spring won't be able to come down. So just loosen these off, or just take the nuts off of your sway bar link there, before you take your upper and lower ball joints apart, and that'll make things a lot easier for you. So first of all, we're gonna take the bottom one off here. So I'll turn this. Here's our lower ball joint nut, and it's really dirty and greasy and grimy in there. So what we're gonna do is clean all this grease out of the way so we can get our socket and all of our tools in there. Okay, so I don't think it's gonna come out for us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the impact on here, spin the nut off, and then we're gonna go through and drill out that hole and drill out the cotter pin. There we go. So we'll just drill it out. So there we go. We got our hole back in there. Now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna beat on this right here with a hammer until our lower ball joint separates. I put a floor jack under here just for when the spring, when it lets go, that spring, we don't want it flying out and killing somebody. So we're gonna put this jack under here so that the control arm can hit that. We've kept our ball joint in good standing because if you use one of those separator forks, it can wreck your ball joint boot, and we don't want to wreck our boot. It's all in good shape. So we're going to take the spring out now and then do our upper one here. Same thing, take the nut off, smack it, drop it down, and then it's all separated. So now I'm going to go ahead and just scrape all the crud out of here. A quick squirt. Like that. Just cover up all the rust. We don't want it rusting again. So now we're waiting for that to dry. We're gonna repack our wheel bearings. Got our bearing out. The front one it's already out, and you'll understand that when you do that. So I'm gonna go rinse these out, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to put them back in. Okay, so now we've got our nice clean wheel bearings, and how you clean these is you can use a parts washer, you can use brake clean. Pretty much what you want to do is get all the old grease out of here and then blow it out. Use hot water to wash it and then blow it out with air so it's all dry. I'm not a professional at this. There's tools to do it. I'll show you how I do it. You take some grease, wheel bearing grease like this, and lots of guys put it in the palm of their hand like this. And that should be enough to pack one bearing. So then what you're gonna do is take the bearing in your hand and just bite the grease like this. And what you'll do is you'll pack the grease, and when you see the grease coming up right in here, that means that it's all the way through the roller bearings and it's getting packed properly. As you can see there, it's bubbling up to the crack, so we know that that part of the wheel bearing is good. So we'll keep going here like this. So this one's good to go. So we're gonna drop it back where it belongs, which is right in there. Here's our seal. Get this screw out of here. Now these things can be a little bit of a pain to get in, but it's just patience is all you need. And you can hear the sound difference when your hammer is hitting the hub, because that means that it's perfectly flat. The seal's flat with the hub, and you'll hear a sound difference. It'll be more of a hollow ring. We'll pack our other bearing, but this won't go in until we put the spindle back on the truck. Okay, so the next step here, if you're using the switch suspension drop kit, the tie rod needs to be flipped and actually goes in and up from the bottom. So what you're gonna do here is loosen this one right here, and we're just gonna spin it 180 degrees. I'm gonna spin it in 180 degrees. We're probably gonna get an alignment done on this when it's all done, so then they'll have to adjust all that, but that's what we're gonna do right now. Like that. Should be good. You have to put your spring in before you do anything else. And I'll show you why. Okay, so this part's very important. Make sure you do this right, or else your truck will not sit level. If you look in here, which you may not be able to see very good, you will see where the spring is supposed to sit. There's a little dip, and this part of the spring sits in that little groove, and that keeps it from spinning and gets your level set right. So I'm gonna get the spring in, get the floor jack under here, and then lift it up and compress it. Now, don't worry about the upper one, because we can move that around. The spring cup here is here. That's what the spring goes into. This we can move around all we want. I'm just gonna spray this with some paint under here, and then we'll move on and get everything together here. Okay, so now we've got everything sitting where we want it. So I'm gonna grab the spindle and put it on the bottom first, and then do the top. Okay, so we got both the nuts on. My buddy helped me press it down. Now, if you have an engine sitting in your frame, or you're doing this without the body off, you'll be able to lift this and compress the spring, but if not, your frame's gonna wanna lift when you're trying to compress it to get the ball joints together. But we got her on, so I'm gonna now take the impact and spin that on. We'll put our tie rod back in. Good. So now we're just gonna throw cotter pins in all those, and then that's done. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, one of these bolts snapped off inside this spindle here, and I broke the easy out trying to get it out. So it's just gonna have to stay like that. Like, it's not gonna rattle or nothing, it's solid, but I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's perfect, because it's not. But you know what? Life moves on. We're not gonna let it get us down. Just slide on here like this. And then you take your washer, and you'll see there's actually a little key way, so make sure you get that in the right spot. And then you'll take your nut. Now we've got our nut in here. We've got our bearing behind the nut. We've got our washer on. This is how you set preload on your wheel bearings, and it's pretty much the same for all the wheel bearings out there. What I always do is suck this thing right down, really tight. Like, now, after we've done that, so now our wheel's stiff on there. You don't want it that tight. We're gonna make sure she's seated. Now you back it off. Now it's finger tight. Now what we do is, what I always do is just get her as snug as you can with your fingers. It's better for your wheel bearings to be a hair loose than a hair tight, is what I've learned. Now we'll put a cotter pin in, get it in there, slide it through. So we put on the shocks here, we got the springs, all that. I'm gonna be taking this apart again and painting some more stuff. We got our wheels polished yesterday, turned out really good. We've got our flip kit in the back here that turned out really good. I really like the C-notch, how they built that. Really easy to cut out there. These wheels turned out amazing. So we're sitting pretty low here. I'm gonna be pulling all the brake lines out and giving the frame one more coat of paint, and then it should be good. And we'll put new brake lines in, and then we'll put the motor in, transmission, exhaust, drive shaft, all that. And then we're gonna put the body on top. And yeah, should be good.